Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to your Monday night power talk for your peak potential with myself, Dr. Julia, and Sam. And tonight we are going to talk about rhythms and routines and integrating being gone. Because if you guys know, I was in Florida this past weekend,
And
now,
if you didn't know, now you do.
Now you know I was in Florida. So if you have any questions about that,
She was at a chiropractic seminar.
yeah, learning how to better serve you and our community here. And so now I'm back in how I integrate that into my rhythm and routine of life so I can be my best self, so I can help other people be their best selves. And so ultimately, what I do is that, so I have a really solid morning routine, and of course we are getting better at it. It is not every day I'm perfect, but progress over perfection. And so I'll kind of share with you what my routine is, and then you guys can share with me what yours is. So I wake up, I meditate. I have an app called Headspace. I know there's lots of meditation apps out there, so share your favorite one below. I've tried a few. I like Headspace. And then I pull an affirmation card. Like for example, let me just show you what my affirmation card was today. Is that good? Is that okay?
Are you gonna leave me in front of the camera by myself?
Yes, we are.
I don't know what to do. No, just kidding.
So this was my affirmation card today. And it says, I surrender to a power greater than me. And then I have my journal, which I just bought a new, really nice leather journal last week. And I write that in my journal, and then I just free write about it. I just write whatever comes to mind about that, how this card speaks to me, and how I live this card, and how I'm going to use that to propel my day forward. And then I write my gratitudes, so what I'm grateful for that day. I write what I appreciate about that day, which more so is about maybe something didn't go necessarily the exact way that I thought it was or the exact way that I wanted it to, but in life, everything is always working for you and not to you. And so I'm finding, even if something didn't go 100% the way I thought it was supposed to, what I actually learned from that. And then I write how I had magic and manifestations in my day. And then I, again, write this affirmation. And that's...
All news to me.
All news to Sam. See, so I'm helping
Because I'm doing
too.
my own thing.
Yeah, he does his own thing. And that's the thing really about it, is that you all need to find a strategy that's going to work the best for you. So then you can have a rock star day and you can live your life at your peak potential. So that's really how I ground back into my life here versus being, in Boca Raton at a resort. And so, Sam, what are you going to share today? He has something fun that he says.
Yes, okay. So I was thinking, what is my routine? Or what is the one thing that I try to do? I'm probably like 60% of the way there.
Which is better than zero.
Depending on the day and what happened the night before.
Yeah.
But I try to beat the sun up every day. I try to get up out of bed before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, that's a great way to start the day, because you're starting out like, hey, I beat the sun up.
Yeah.
That's a win already.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I try to do.
And how do you say it?
BSU.
BSU.
Beat the sun up.
That's exactly right.
Yes. And then journaling, first thing in the morning too, is another big thing.
Yeah.
Writing out goals, a vision for the future. Mm-hmm. And then I don't do this, but I'm going to start scheduling out the days or the weeks in advance, because you can write out all these goals for the future, but if you don't have a plan to bring them into fruition, they're just going to stay in your notebook.
Totally.
So, yes.
But then I have something to add to that.
Okay.
Okay.
I can add also.
Okay, yeah.
Another routine thing that I've been doing is I've been routinely, just in the last 2 months, I've been very, very conscious of eating. That might sound like, oh my, what? But like, I've just really focused on consuming the right amount of calories and eating healthy foods. So that's been a big staple in my routine the last couple months, just being very conscious of what I'm eating and how often I'm eating. So that's just one of the things, and tracking all of that has kept me on course.
Yeah. One other thing that me and Sam like to say in the mornings to get us out of bed.
You like to say it.
I like to say it.
I like to mock her.
Yeah. Is feet on the floor.
Yeah.
And I kind of say it like this, feet on the floor. Feet on the floor. Feet on the floor. Because if your feet hit the floor, then you're up.
One little trick. Now we're just talking about beating the sun up. But
which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first win of your day.
Yeah.
Beat the sun up, and it's like you're already...
Yes.
You know, if you, like, show up to your job and you got, like... I don't know, you just feel good already.
Yes.
Especially if you beat the sun up and then you exercise, or just get a little bit of exercise in and you eat a healthy breakfast. Just think of the miles ahead you are from the people in your environment. Like, that just gives you the extra confidence to go out and really serve it your best, or in whatever work you're doing, or whichever environment, or, you know, maybe it's taking your kids to school.
Yeah. Especially when your life is about helping other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What were we going to say?
Oh, one thing I was going to say about how Sam talked about how, you know, write out your goals, but then plan how it's going to happen, is also another aspect of this is not being too rigid in that plan and being able to adapt to your circumstances and being able to like flow through your plan versus being very cut and dry and rigid with it. And if you guys tomorrow check out our Facebook page, I wrote a whole blog on that, on how, yes, structure and routine and organization is amazing, especially for kids. But if your child, because what we see is that sometimes kids need a lot of structure, but the reason why they need a lot of structure is because they are not able to adapt and really switch tasks easily. So if your kid gets really, really frustrated about transitioning from going to home to going to school, or even in school, if they have a hard time transitioning from music class back to math class, or even in this the season changing, like yesterday, daylight savings, even if that completely threw them for a loop, then that is a very strong indicator that your child's nervous system, the thing that is controlling everything in their body, their internal environment, is out of balance. It is chaotic, it is stressed out, so then they're not able to properly adapt to the outside environment that they're in. So that even though they should seamlessly be able to transition from music to math, if the inside of their body is chaotic and fuzzy, then that is a huge thing for them, when it should just be really, really small. So that's my message about that is, yes, you need to have a plan, but the plan more so needs to adapt like that and not be so me.
Yes. Sidebar, you talked about daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Sidebar, and then segue into another.
I like it.
Yes, okay. Sidebar, I did not beat the sun up yesterday because I did not know it was daylight savings.
What do you mean?
I didn't know it was going to be daylight savings yesterday, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I've been completely unplugged from social media. I don't watch TV or the news or anything. And this is the segue into the next topic. The routine based around, I think a lot of people are really tied to their social media and the news and all that stuff. And I think anybody can benefit from unplugging for a week. Just stop consuming. Like, hey, if you quit Facebook for a week and you only come back to watch this next week, I think you won. Like, you'll come back with like a new clarity. And I realized the reason that I did unplug from social media like Facebook, Instagram, and even Snapchat. I never considered Snapchat social media, but I kind of do now, just because it consumes a lot of my time. If you unplug, you'll stop consuming and you'll be forced to start producing. And really, do you want to be a consumer in the world, or do you want to produce in the world and create it in your image? So, I highly, highly suggest it. I know earlier in the summer, I really stopped consuming, in the fact that no social media, no podcasts, no music even. Like, that was a big thing. No listening to music. I did not consume anything other than food.
It was wild.
Yeah. It was an interesting week, and I did that for 7 days.
I have something to share about that.
Yeah, but, I mean, just try it out.
So here's my thing.
You'll have a new perspective, and the biggest thing is just switch from the consumer mindset to the producer mindset.
Yeah, that's huge. And one, thing about what happened with him with that is that, so if you guys listen to, tell more about that.
Yeah, well, we could talk about that next week.
Yeah. So John Mayer, he came out with a new album.
Oh yeah, this was wild.
Yeah.
Okay, John Mayer is one of my biggest influences musically, and he came out a new album the week that I did that no consumption cleanse. So I was it was very, very difficult for me not to want to consume, but it really paid off in the end, I think.
And how it paid off.
Let's hear why.
Let's hear why. Because John Mayer, if you listen to his album, he has a song called, what is it? In the Blood. It's called In the Blood. And it's kind of about him wondering about his family. And it was basically a song about...
My family still has never heard the one that I wrote.
Okay, well now they will. He wrote a song about his family. That weekend, when we were coming home from Sam's family, it was...
Well, I wrote mine, before that.
It was that Sunday.
I think his album came out that week.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was plugged into something because I wrote this song that was very similar to this John Mayer song, except his came out a week after I wrote mine.
And the thing is that if Sam would have listened to that album, he wouldn't have written that song, because he would have thought then that he was copying John Mayer's idea with that.
Yeah.
And this
it was really interesting.
Yeah, in my opinion of all of Sam's music, that's his strongest song lyrically.
Maybe I should sing it right now.
You should. Because it's beautiful,
No.
and it's made me cry.
Really?
But, yeah, it's awesome. But what I'm saying is that since he was able to unplug and stopped consuming and just started producing, he made this amazing song, and that wouldn't have happened if he would have listened to John Mayer's song. So, sing it, sing it. Yeah.
I've told a lot of my friends about the consumption to production ratio.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are really fascinated with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've, like, even today I was talking to one of my friends about it, and he's like, yeah, I've wanted to do that, or I am currently doing a social media purge, or
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
And I even listened to a podcast over the weekend. This lady is like, yeah, people just need to unplug, get away from their cell phones. I downloaded an app on my phone that tells me how many times I open my phone just to see if I have any new messages.
What's it called?
What is it? It's called
Moment, I think.
Moments.
Moments.
Moments? Well, I'll just grab my phone and take a look.
But what we are here to do on social media, we want you to stay engaged with our page because...
It's funny how this conversation has shifted a little bit. Okay, so the app is called Moments.
We want to bring Moments, looking it up now.
Just Moment.
Moment. Use your phone less, set daily limits, and get back to your life.
Yeah, I've been on my phone for an hour and 6 minutes today. And I've been really busy all day, so I don't know.
It seems like a lot.
Oh, you know what it was? So when I'm in the car driving, I switch through every single song on my phone. I don't ever listen to a single song. I just, next song, next song, next song. So that's where all the time came from.
That's true.
For sure.
You get like 1 second clip of a song.
Yeah, but this is a cool thing. What does this have to do with routine and...
Is that sometimes if you wake up, the first thing you do, and I've been guilty of this too, is go on Facebook. And it's like, how is that fueling me to then help other people, to then fuel other people?
Yeah.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
I had this conversation with another one of my friends today about creativity, in that he's a writer of like books.
Yes.
So we were talking about creativity in that he's like, is writer's block a thing? Is that like a real thing, or is that just an excuse? And you know, he gave examples of people that he's heard is like, you know, just write through the writer's block, just make it a goal to write 500 words a day or whatever. Write through it. I've heard Ed Sheeran say, you know, writer's block is nothing, just write. Mm-hmm. And that gets you through it. But my example was, we were talking about social media and writer's block. And my example was, I'll sit down to write a new song. I'll spend 5-10 minutes on it. I'll get a really cool idea. Like, oh, yes, I like this. And then the flow, like, goes from a flow to a drip. I'm like, okay, Facebook time. Just 5 minutes. Let me just check my notifications. And yeah. But I'm aware that I do that, so I don't do it anymore. Try not to.
I like how you said it went from a flow to a drip.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So basically it's how do you, because that's it. You need to stop that. So the thing is that, you know, you have this flow and then it goes to a drip. It's about how you just work through that drip to then make it a flow again.
Yeah, exactly.
And not necessarily going on.
Yeah, because you're going from producer in that moment to now you're a consumer again. Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm.
I have something to add to that. So Alexa, this will help you. So this is one thing that I've been looking into the past few weeks here, is that really knowing yourself and knowing your strategies. And not necessarily, how do I want to put this? Okay, so people are either, without like categorizing yourself, people are either more external, which means that they get their energy from being like external sources, or an internal, and they get more energy from going internal. And knowing that about yourself will then help you, because it's a sliding scale. We're all everything. That's the thing. It's like, it's not like, oh, you're an extrovert, you're an introvert, that's all you are. Because really, we are all both. But it's kind of a scale on where you fall on this continuum. And so if you're more an external person, if it's going from that flow to a drip, you more so want to go outside yourself, maybe take a walk in nature, maybe just feel your body, feel the energy around you, like expand, but like out here. But if you're more an internal, you want to more so go inside yourself, and then you will feel more energy, and it will actually then help you get back into that flow instead of that drip. So for me, example, I fall more onto that external scale of things. So if I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, or if I feel stuck, or just, overwhelmed or stuck, what I do is I actually like take a step outside myself, and I look outside. The back of my office is all windows, which is just amazing, and looks up to the trees. So I look outside, I connect outside with nature. This summer I was really into running, so I'd go for a run outside. But I would like go outside of myself, because for me, if I tend to just go too internal, I start thinking about things way too much, and then it's more so like, then it goes from a drip to just a stop. So what do you think about that, Sam? Do you have anything to add to that?
Nope. I don't have anything to add.
Okay. Where do you think you lie?
I don't need to label it. I don't really like those labels at all, to be honest. I kind of disagree with that whole go outside yourself, or if you're internal, go inside yourself. I just it's not what I do, you know. I'd rather just, hey, I have the answer already.
Would you say that's not going internal?
Yeah, it's going internal, but it changes day to day.
Yeah. And that's the thing about being in the flow with it, not being rigid about it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the flow of it.
Cool. See, that's what these talks are about, is like working through things.
Yes, definitely. I don't have anything else to say.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, I hope that you found this valuable. Let us know what your routine is and how you integrate back into your life after you've been away for a few days. And if you have an awesome morning routine that you'd love to share, or something that you do throughout the day that helps you stay in the flow and not necessarily get stuck in all the drips.
And try the social media purge.
Yeah.
Try not to be a consumer for a week and just produce something.
Or just follow pages that give you inspiration and make you happy, like Peak Potential Family Chiropractic.
Yes, that too. All right, everybody, have a great week.
Bye.